There's something odd about my voice. I didn't really notice it at first, or rather, I noticed something was off right away, but I couldn't tell what it was. It's hard to say in retrospect. People tend to remember things differently from how they really happened. It was Hannah who pointed it out to me. "Your kitchen has funny acoustics," she said. "You're making an echo, and I don't." My only reply was, "Weird, I never noticed." Then I got up to make more tea, and she went back to talking about her off-putting landlord. We both forgot about my kitchen acoustics right then and there. I might have never remembered that short exchange again, had I not decided to sit in her exact spot on the sofa a few days later, on my day off when my insurance called. The call itself isn't important. What's important is that I didn't usually sit in that spot. It wasn't a conscious choice. I just didn't feel quite comfortable there. Maybe there was a small draft. Maybe the light hit my eyes at a weird angle. Who really knows why we do these small, insignificant things? And for the most part, they are insignificant. Except on this day, in this one moment, when I received that call from my insurance and sat down in the nearest spot, the spot I never sat in. "Hello?" I said. A strange tingling sensation went down my spine. I thought, this isn't quite right. The man on the phone kept talking, and I kept responding, but I was only half aware. I was focused on something else, on that strange feeling I couldn't explain. He hung up. My hand sank to my knee, holding the phone. I was alone. I didn't feel alone, though. "Hello?" I repeated. Nothing happened. "Is anyone there?" What was it that bothered me so much? I couldn't put my finger on it. I got up. Out loud, I said, maybe to chase away the imaginary ghosts. Scared of my own echo. Echo! The thought hit me suddenly and with such force that I had to sit back down. My head felt light. The echo. I was hearing my voice reflected back at me. But I knew there was no echo in that spot. That was Hannah's spot. Of course, I felt embarrassed right away. I must have been a little sleep-deprived to get startled like that. I probably remembered it the wrong way around, and she had been the one with the echo. Or maybe my voice was a little louder than hers. There were plenty of logical explanations for this. I decided to ignore my strange feelings and go about my day. And yet, I couldn't quite shake that initial sensation, that tingle in my spine. It kept demanding attention. I spent the rest of the day running errands and trying to distract myself. But whenever I spoke, I couldn't help but listen vigilantly for anything odd or out of the ordinary. Occasionally, I thought I could hear it, but the city around me was busy and loud, so I never felt quite sure. Evening came. I went down to the shop for some groceries and a short exchange with the cashier, and there it was! That faint echo, my own voice, repeating my own words just a split second after I said them. I stepped outside, feeling increasingly paranoid. "Don't be ridiculous," I muttered, in an attempt to calm myself down. My heart sank. The echo was still there. I know this will be hard to believe, but I'm sure of it. The echo said, "Don't be silly." In that moment, an unbearable horror took over me. It felt like that strangely hot sensation where ice touches bare skin, suddenly exploding in the back of my head and spreading to the rest of my body at lightning speed. In that moment, I knew what I heard was real. It was my own voice, but not like an echo at all. Something else was there, hiding behind my voice, talking back at me, guessing what I'd say next. For a moment, everything went black. "Are you all right?" "What?" The worried face of an elderly woman appeared in front of me. "Yes," I said, a bit too loudly. I was holding on to the trash can I had thrown up into. The world slowly stopped turning. "I'm sorry." I ignored the woman and started walking. I could feel panicked tears fill up my eyes. tears of anger and confusion. I was losing my mind. I pulled out my phone to call Hannah. She sounded tired. I was taking a nap. I'm sorry, can you please just talk to me? What happened? I didn't know how to explain, so I just started somewhere. The whole story came out backwards. I had to repeat nearly everything before she understood what I was telling her. When I finished, she laughed. A bright and happy laugh that made me feel better immediately. You're not going crazy, she said. And you're not being haunted or whatever. You probably just need to get your ears checked. Make an appointment, I'll drive you. Why had I just been freaked out like this? I couldn't make sense of it anymore. I quietly shook my head at myself and headed home. It was almost dark now, and I hoped a bit of Netflix and some sleep would be enough to cure me from this strange day. When I arrived, I felt more tired than I had in a while. I took off my boots, fed the cat, and turned on the laptop to watch my favorite shows. When I could barely keep my eyes open, I finally crawled into bed. Laying in the dark, I could feel myself drift off. My thoughts became unclear, just a slow and constant mixed stream of feelings, images, and memories. Sometimes surfacing, then disappearing again. I saw Hannah drinking tea on my sofa, then the old woman who tried to help me back at the... I'm sorry! It felt as if someone had slapped me awake. I'm sorry. Just 2 words. I'd been bending over the trash can, the concerned old lady hovering next to me. And then I had decided to walk away. But I never said anything, did I? Someone said, I'm sorry. I'm sure it was my voice. But I just know I didn't speak. Who else could have said it? Am I just driving myself mad? What's happening to me? Furious with myself, and my heart pounding in my throat, I turned the lights back on. Stop it! I yelled helplessly into the night. You're imagining things. No, said my voice back to me. You're not. Then the lights turned off again. I can't see. I don't know where I am. Please, help me.